Yo, what's up? Freedom Out Productions here. Finna give you a review for Evil Dead Rise. Here's a quick synopsis of the movie. A reunion between two estranged sisters get cut short by the rise of flesh-possessing demons, thrusting them into a primal battle for survival as they face the most nightmarish version of family imaginable. Alright, I just watched this movie. I watched it a couple of days ago, actually. And the movie's okay. The movie's not bad. Um, like the synopsis said, that you deal with Beth. Beth is like I think she's in a band or something like that. Or uh, I know they keep saying that she's like a roadie, or like she's like one of these fangirls who's following the band. But I think she's actually in the band or something like that. And I think she's dealing with one of the band members, and she finds out she's pregnant at the beginning of the movie. And so she goes to visit her sister, who's played by, I think, Ellie, played by Lisa Sutherland, and Beth's played by uh, Lily Sullivan. And Ellie she has some children. She has a trans, is a daughter, Danny, played by Morgan Davies, Bridget, played by Gabrielle Eccles, and what's the little girl name? Casey, played by Neil Fisher. So these are her children, and they live in this rundown building that's supposed to get I think I think Ellie tells her that the building uh, is supposed to get taken down in a couple of weeks or something. Like the building's like almost unlivable at this point. It's like a rundown building, and I think only a few tenants are left inside the building actually. And she has a couple of weeks to move out or something like that. But her son Danny, um, during an earthquake, he finds the Evil Dead book, and I heard somebody else say there's three actual Evil Dead books. There's actually three of them, and I think he finds one of them. If you go by the Evil Dead lore, I think there's supposed to be actually three different books. Necro Con or whatever it's called, but I think there's actually three of them. That's why the covers of the book look different from the original Evil Dead. But of course, he grabs the books. He take it back to the room, and he ends up finding some old vinyls that he ends up playing that says the curse words that brings the demon to life, that ends up possessing Ellie, their mom, and all hell breaks loose there. Um, the movie was cool. The movie's not bad. You could tell that Sam Raimi didn't direct this or write this, because there's really like no, it's really not that comedy that you usually see in some Sam Raimi movies. Like there's some type of elements of comedy there. There's none here. This is like a straightforward horror movie with no like semblance of like comedy or just like a little goofiness to it. It's just straight horror. And I think the thing that set Sam Raimi apart from other like horror directors is that he has that little element, that little flair that makes it his own, with comedy and stuff like that. But this movie was cool. I think it was shot in New Zealand, if I'm not mistaken, and they trying to play it off like it's shot in somewhere in America, maybe New York or something. I'm not sure. Um, the movies. I'm a grown man, so I don't get scared by horror movies. I love horror movies, but they really don't scare me. The movie will be scary to a child though. There are some good horror effects in this movie that I really like. I think the effects are pretty good. Um, yeah, the effects are pretty good. I think the actors for the most part do a real good job, especially Ellie, who plays the mom. Uh, Alyssa Sutherland, she does a great job. She's really good being possessed, uh, being a demon. And I really like the youngest child, the daughter, Casey. She does a real good job. For her to be so young, I think her acting skills is pretty good. Um, I could see her in the future uh, doing great things. Really, all the cast is okay. I really had no problem with really none of the cast. Um, you has like some supporting cast, like the next door neighbor, like lives across the hall, and I think there's like an older guy who lives down the hall. You, we don't see them much. They're kind of in there just to be like cannon fodder for the demons to kill. And I wish we would have had more time to spend with these characters, actually care about them getting killed. But really, they're in the movie for like 5, 10 minutes most, and they just get wiped out. And it kind of sucks though, cause like the way the neighbors are killed, you just kind of see them through a peephole who get shot and get ripped apart, and you really don't get to see like the full, horror of them getting like ripped apart. You just kind of see it from like this one angle through a peephole, like like this tunnel vision type scene. Well, I guess it's creative, but I would rather have seen like seen the gore, seen them getting ripped apart or whatever. I would have rather seen that. But what else we got here? The beginning of the movie. The beginning of the movie's okay. I think the movie starts to fall apart towards the end. Like towards the end of the movie, um, it gets a little silly. Like not like funny silly, just kind of like what the hell's going on. Like at one part, um, the mom Ellie gets her limb shot off, and like the brother and sister Danny and Bridget, who was also killed in the movie, uh, they become demons. They rip Ellie open and they like conjoin with her. They become like this one big. I don't know. They become this one big blob type creature with multiple arms and legs, and they end up chasing Beth and Casey down the elevator shaft and into the parking garage, and it's just ridiculous. But another scene I ain't like. I ain't like that. They tried to give a shout out to the original Evil Dead by, of course, the chainsaw, which is like, come on, man, let's not do the chainsaw thing. They try to do that with the other Evil Dead remake a few years back, and let's not do that. If you're not gonna bring another Ash, like let's just not do it. And for some reason, they're like hell bent on making a female Ash. Like they're like so hell bent on making uh, the protagonist a female when like the Evil Dead protagonist has always been a male. And I think it's like a horror movie trope that I'm getting tired of seeing, that we know the female survives at the end. It's like not surprising anymore. How about we switch it up some, okay? Like let's have a male be the protagonist of a horror movie for once. Like it's just getting so predictable at this point that the males are just cannon fodder for any horror movie. They're gonna be weak and not gonna do nothing and just get destroyed. But yeah, the chainsaw. They had the car. Like the car was like from the original film. They showed that at the beginning. Um, oh yeah. Also, they had the little cabin scene at the beginning where we followed this couple and his, I think it was her cousin. It was at this lake house, this little cabin, and we see that during the lake house that this chick she's possessed by a demon, and that comes back to play towards the end of the movie. We see how the beginning, how that all started. That at the end of the movie, pretty much the chick at the very beginning we see that's in a cabin who's killing her boyfriend and I think her cousin. Um, she stays in the same building as Ellie and her family, and she ends up getting possessed by the demon towards the end of the movie, and that's when, of course, that's how the beginning of the movie started, with her being in the cabin, being sick, and turning into a demon and killing her cousin and her boyfriend. So yeah, and of course, by the end of the movie, they get rid of the demon by throwing the demon in this big wood chipper and destroying it. But the acting was solid. Um, the movie drags a little bit towards the middle. Um, you could tell the budget of the movie because really it's just shot in one area for the most part. So you could really tell the budget. But it's not bad. Special effects look good. Everything looks good. Um, uh, I like this movie better than I like the remake. The one that came out a couple of years ago, a few years back. I think like 2016. I might be wrong. Something like that. I didn't like that one at all. But I think this one is a lot better. Um, I wouldn't mind seeing more of Evil Dead. Like, we can keep this going. We can find like different. Since there are 3 books, we know there are 3 books. Maybe somebody else could find another book, and we can keep it going. Maybe start a franchise. I think that's what they're trying to do. They're trying to start their own franchise, like a Conjuring franchise or something like that. I don't know. We'll see. But like I just hopefully they'll mix it up some. Uh, mix up the characters some. Bring some new characters in. Switch it up, and if we're gonna move on, if we're gonna keep the Evil Dead thing going on, we're gonna have to escape the first Evil Dead movies with all the little Easter eggs and shout outs with the car, the chainsaw, and come get some. I think she says come get some at one point in the movie, Beth, when she has the chainsaw. I was like, come on. But overall, I'll give this movie I give it a C plus. I give it a C plus. It's not bad. I went to the movie theater to see it. I think that you could wait to watch this movie. Actually, if I had a chance to go back, I would just watch it on streaming or something. But it's a good watch though. It's worth a watch. I don't know if it's worth spending your money on like that, but it's worth a watch. I give it a C plus. I give it a C plus. So that's it. Tell me what you think about the Evil Dead Rise, and what do you think about the franchise as a whole? You think they're going in the right direction with the Evil Dead? Do you want to see more Evil Dead? Let me know. This Freedom Out Productions. I'm out. Peace.